Good morning, people. We're going to take a little bit of a break from the Fox body build so we can start continuing to build. 1 second. That's better. We now have to sacrifice some garage space so we can put this tube front end on. We've got a Codian front end. I hope I pronounced that right. I'll put the link down below for these kits. It's so much easier to buy a pre-bent kit than it is going to be to buy the material and bend up my own kit. So let's put this thing together. As you can tell, our race car needs like a little bit of love here. It's not looking too happy right now. Hey Kyle, do you know what the contents of the box are? And I'm like, no. Let's find out. This is a nice box. There's a box inside the box. Look, it's already pre-coped. I don't have to do anything. This is actually thinner wall than I'm used to. This is probably like 085. Of course that would happen. All right, here's the contents of our box. This is the company we got it from. Super awesome dude to deal with. He does have a Facebook website and an Instagram account. But I'm letting you know straight up right now that this isn't even cost effective to do yourself. So even if you have a bender and you have ability to get the pipe and stuff, basically the price of getting a length of pipe to build your tube front end is about what this kit is gonna cost you in the materials. It'd be silly to go out and buy your own tube front end, is what I'm saying. Like, look at all the pre-cut brackets and tabs and everything that come with it. This is more of a steel than I thought it was. Now, I'm almost certain we have to cut this flush with the strut tower here, and then this essentially like that. That's pretty badass, actually. So basically I just started cutting the strut tower where I thought it was supposed to be cut just by looking at the photos. Apparently there was instructions with the exact measurement you were supposed to use, but it turns out, fortunately, I did get the measurement really close for the top of the strut there. Just trying to do smooth, straight cuts and apparently no worries for anything catching on fire. I guess I lost a razor blade in here at one point. Okay, before we get too carried away with cleaning up, it does look much better now that it's like flush. I just want to kind of get it test fitted to see where stuff is going to fit, because I have no idea where it's going to sit. And I'm not sure if we have to drop our K-member or not, because it does extend out a little bit further here. Brake line's leaking a little bit, I gotta rebuild those. Probably have to take the K-member off to weld the bottom side of that. How am I gonna get that level now? Jeez, Kyle. I'm not that good. I'm gonna EC weld it. Well, at least having it tack welded here will give me something to work with. Now I can slightly move it both ways, maybe, and try and get it straight with the frame rail up there. I have a feeling I wasn't supposed to follow the frame rails because it looks like that dude whose eyes are looking outwards and not at you. I was like, I'm gonna make it so square with the frame rail. Doesn't even make sense. Here will be a good indicator of how wide it's supposed to be in the front, because this is the radiator mount. I gotta ask him how wide it's supposed to be. Oh, Cody just sent me a message. There's instructions. I'm an idiot. All right, let's see if we can tack weld this one in. It's been so much like small tacks on here and slightly moving the bars back and forth and twisting and picking them up to get them exactly where we want them. So I'm gonna put one tack up here, make sure that our bar down here didn't move any, and then tack weld this piece onto that piece. Check all my measurements again. Now once we put a tack weld down here and another one up here, it should triangulate this piece and it shouldn't move anymore, technically. But I am a haggard ass little kid and it might move. And what I mean by that is I'm a destructive little who manages to break everything he touches. And actually welding this portion here where the plate meets like the top of the strut tower here, it's all thin metal and I kept blowing holes in it, so I would have to like build up the thin metal a little bit so I can finally put some heat in it and join the thicker plate to the thinner sheet metal. It was a little bit annoying. All right, we got a good jump start on things. We have the two beams going out. They do come, if you follow the frame rails, they actually tilt out a little tiny bit, which is kind of weird and kind of messed with my brain a little bit because I'm like parallel, not curved out. But I guess the factory ones curve out a little bit. Now the reason that we're trying to make like a little bit of headway progress on this thing is that the new engine is supposed to be here or done soon-ish, I'm told. And the whole reason behind going to front end was that last year we had to add 50 or 60 pounds of ballast to the front of the car just to keep the nose down when we launched.
For the 50-pound counterweight now. Ross out here spinning wire.
With side cuts.
With side cuts. Proper tool for the job. Off with the 8th. 897, 117 with a nice wheelie, nice pedal.
Now it's definitely not ideal because it adds weight to the car and makes it slower overall. So what we're gonna try and do this year is make more room in the front so we can move more weight to the front of the car. But here's the catch. I think I might be going manual this year. I've been really hooked on the race week thing ever since I did Sick Week with Rich and his manual GTO. And I just feel like we gotta bring back the manuals, man. The autos are fun for competitive racing, but there's always a spot for manual. Manual class, maybe we'll try it out this year. Bring back the manuals. So I'm in contact with G-Force right now. We're trying to work out something on a T56, and hopefully we get T56 behind this car. Before I completely weld these things in, I kind of want to put the fenders back on just to see where things lay. Pro mod status, baby. Dang, we on that pro mod life now. Look at it. There's so much room for activities. I could totally fist this now. I couldn't fist that before. I don't think. Maybe I could have. It looks like it fits pretty good. Now, I believe some of these brackets here, this one? I believe this one goes like something like this. Maybe. I don't know, I'll have to look at the pictures again. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece right here, the one that holds the headlights, and I'm gonna mount that to the fenders right here, and that will give us the exact width that this needs to be before we start welding any tabs or weld this up, just to make sure that we have it right. Now this front end has totally seen some abuse, and I do have some new headlights and signal lights to make it look a little bit better, and I thought about getting a new bumper, but then I'd have to get the whole car rewrapped. And I don't know how I feel about this chassis overall, if I want to put too much more money into it, because I'm not a huge fan of the SN95. I really like the New Edge, so we'll see what happens. You should fit in here. Ooh, we're a little close, aren't we, huh? Ooh, we're a lot close. I literally just had a ratchet around here already. There it is. Honestly, that looks pretty close to me now. I had the fenders tipped in a little bit too much. As you can see, the fender basically goes along straight along that tube and pretty straight along that tube too. And I think that's how it was intended to be. Perfect opportunity to head over blacksheepindustries.ca. It'll be the first link down below. And when you're there, you can see our awesome custom line of wastegates and blow-off valves. We also do turbos and flanges and a bunch of stuff you guys need to turbo your build. Now I know you guys don't want to be slow, and I don't like being slow either, and that's why I love turbos. So let us help you get started. blacksheepindustries.ca. Go check us out. Awesome prices, awesome quality stuff. Check it out. I'm only using a number 6 cup. I should be using a really big gas lens when I'm welding steel, but I don't want to waste a lot of gas, so I just didn't really care because I'm going to paint over it anyways. Got some welds there. Some welding done here. I did have to fill a couple little gaps and hammer some stuff in to make it flat. This one was a really big pain to weld because this one's really thin steel. So I had to kind of like bubble it up on this side a little bit just to build some strength into it and then weld the two together. And this is how it looks as a unit so far. I like it. It's always fun when you can come out and work on your own race car for a little bit. As much as I want to see this thing run, we need this to run too. Like, both of them need to run. I need an assistant, but I can't pay you very much. I can pay you in like high fives, reach around sometimes, and then maybe the occasional like, I went ahead and put the front end back on this thing because we have to now install our mounts to hold up this piece, you know, to brace everything up again. So there's tabs that go from here to here, back there for that one. There's Heim joints that hold this front piece up, so we don't want a wiggly front end. They actually give you enough stuff to make it solid. Man, look how long that mold's getting. That is long. I committed. So we gotta go ahead and weld up this adjustable piece right here. We're probably just gonna tack welding it for now on both sides because these Heim joints just kind of fall out. This is the first time I've ever seen a mount like this, but I need to find out where we can get something like this because this would be perfect for B's car making turbo braces. And of course, like a stupid ass, I went and welded them completely, and now I can't touch them because they're hot. Those things are gonna mount from the lower bar here, come up right behind this piece right here, then there's a tab that comes off that piece down there, and actually goes into this, and that's what holds it up from the Heim joint from here to there. Actually, while I have the welder over there, I should probably weld up the ends of these ones too, because I'm gonna have to do those after. This one has a little slip joint piece in the middle. And weld up both sides. You go there-ish. I love using the word ish. There-ish. Alright, we got these tabs welded in place. These are the ones that are going to hold up the bumper, so you just come drill through the side in here, drill through that, and then that should be able to clamp onto that piece. Same thing with this side, and then the bottom sides are all welded in as well, just to give that some rigidity. The top bar I can't really get to fit that well. And I'm just having a little bit of struggle. Wow, my hair. I'm just having a little bit of struggle with that one. It seems like it's a little tiny bit too long. So whether I messed up my measurements when I welded this all together a little bit and it's just not wide enough on the top, or you messed up, Cody, and you gave me too long one. Who knows? I think I've got it pretty close to figure it out here. I had to just tack weld these so they wouldn't slip because they kept like wanting to twist on each other. The tabs go on the outside here, just above where the light bulb is. It might sit a little bit different on my kit than the one they gave me, but this is how everything seems to fit well on my chassis, so this is how it's gonna go. But I do have to redesign my turbo kit, so I'm gonna have to try and utilize as much space as I can up here. I wanna move the air to water from in the passenger seat where it was up to the front, and then I wanna change my intake manifold so it's routed forward then backwards, and my old turbo kit won't work with the manifold pointing forwards because the turbo is right where the inlet to the throttle body was. Speaking of getting the engine back, we also have to build new motor mount tabs. This is where our old one was. The old ones were actually on the frame rail sticking out, so we have to build new ones off of these bars as well. So hopefully this is strong enough, because this is what's going to be holding up our engine now. Alright, next we have these little fender holder thing jiggers. Yep. And they have to be mounted like that-ish. So we'll try and make those as even as we can, get those tack welded on, and see what happens, I guess, because I have no idea if I'm doing this right or not. I'm winging it. There we go, both fender tabs are mounted. Starting to come together real nice. I don't want to put the lower bar in. So this bar right here, I don't want to put that in until I figure out where I want to put my radiator. Before, my radiator actually laid like a slight angle flat underneath everything, underneath my turbo and everything. I think I want to try and stand it up more if I'm going to do some of these drag and drive events. Cooling is like a big thing in those. And that's half the reason I want to go 6-speed. You get rid of your trans cooler, you get rid of the hot transmission, you get a nice overdrive. It's much easier to drive on the streets, except for the clutch part. And things break a lot easier. But overall, I like it. There's a lot more room to do things now. I do have to figure out how to patch these holes in the firewall because that was where our old intercooler pipe went through. I am really, really bad at body work. So I'm gonna have to figure out something for these holes because they were really badly cut. As you can see, someone just kind of took, I don't know, a box cutter knife, stabbed themselves in the eyeballs, and then cut this with a grinder. So the next time I come out here and work on this car, I'm probably gonna try and fill the firewall holes. Get everything out of the engine bay so we can paint it all nice, which reminds me we still have to build engine mounts, so I can't really paint everything, these lower bars, before we build engine mounts. But it was nice to put the front end back on this car because it was been missing for a while. The only thing is we lose a little bit of space, which means we should probably bring the lawnmower to the dyno soon so we can put it in the other garage. And then I'm also picking up another vehicle coming up soon, which I've always wanted, and you have to stay tuned to see that one. I think I'm going to leave it there, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Every subscriber counts. Hit that little bell notification next to it. If you want to see our new stick car pro mod, so I'm calling it a pro mod because it's got a tube front now, it's not a street car anymore. And we got lots of work to do. We're just waiting on some parts for this thing. I had to make a couple orders, which take 3 or 4 days. That's why I jumped on this thing. And as you're watching this, Virginia's actually doing one of her body paint streams live right now. So if you want to see how much of an artist she is, go to twitch.tv/alientrashkitty. Super, super talented. Or go to alientrashkitty.com and that'll bring you to all her links anyways. My Rogue Fab 2-bender is showing up soon too, so we can start our next trike build, which I'm probably going to do giveaway with on merch. Stay tuned for that one. It's probably going to come out early next month. I'll announce it. And stay easy, peace easy, get that V, shop Black Sheep Industries, all the cool stuff, and then end the video. Mullet.